Okay, hello, welcome. I guess I'm just gonna go straight ahead with the VOD review, I suppose. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So TDM, I have no idea about anything in this match, I haven't seen it or anything. And if I do ever upload this to YouTube, I don't need to explain who I am. Just know that I'm a decent VOD reviewer for this kind of thing. Right, I like the loadout. It is one of those loadouts which kind of counters everything but also gets countered by everything, so it's quite skill based. So we'll see how you do with it, I suppose. I would say at this range, I would recommend, if there's no immediate threat, you might as well take the cloak off and run with your sword arcs, you run faster. I don't know who your opponents are or any of that. And I'm going to assume there's no comms recorded. Right, you got to... Okay, fair enough. I would personally commit to something here. So I would back off and choose the Pelican from a range like this. Or go in. Sword, but personally I'd recommend Pelicaning first, but we don't know your opponents, so you're gonna get punished. Okay, let's take this back. See, the mistake made here was we go in from low ground as a sniper without knowing our opponents. So you can see that this barrier caster user, right, they're running up on you. You should just choose to run away at this point. Like, just choose to leave and go up the tower. Like, abuse high ground because you have infinite range, right? I know it's harder to hit shots at range with Pelican, but like, you might as well go for it because you're not contested as far as we know. You have two teammates. I'm going to assume it's a 3v3. Like, I see a barrier caster here. That's one person. We know that they're going to hunter you when you shoot. Maybe. They're going to have Bounder. Like, casters and attackers are an even matchup. You know what? This is an excuse to use my pen. Right, so we have attackers. Oh god, that's a terrible colour. Give me that pink. Right, we have attackers. It's a terrible sword. We have snipers. We have gunners. And then we have casters. Right, and then they kind of have like a natural like matchup spread kind of where these guys beat... Snipers will always beat everything at range. Oh god, but not blue. Why would I pick blue? Snipers always win at range, right? They'll just beat whatever they want at a long range. This one maybe not so much. This one could go either way. But snipers will always win at range because they can't actually fight back. Like, these guys can sort of do something, but attackers can do literally nothing. Casters can spam 0 splits. And gunners, depends on the gunners, but it could be even, it could not be, right? So that's the way the sniper wins. The attacker always wins, assuming Massive Mune Slayer or Dragoon working properly, always wins against everything else at close range. If it gets the hit in, this is the even matchup here, right? And this can be even again, depending on the gun. This thing shouldn't win, but, you know, it's a sniper, it's like a question mark. These guys beat literally everything at medium range, right? They just beat literally whatever they want at close medium range. And that is this range, which we're looking at here. And then these guys need teammates generally if they're rapid guns or they assassinate at weird ranges. So these guys are these are the biggest question mark, but they kind of get victimized at all the main ranges of these. Unless there's no barriers involved, which is never the case. So what you want to do is, because you have one of the most polarizing loadouts in the game right now, you got to choose to either commit and use this thing's advantage of I win at close range to destroy this, in this case, the caster who's in their optimal range, or you just leave and abuse the sniper, which is what I would do. It's the safer option. So yeah. But anyway, we see that you get a bit punished for it, because you go in at low ground, but then you're not committing to the sword. And also we don't know the opponent still. There could be more hunter users. We don't know. You're using Pelican, hunter's a big deal. But again, it is Pelican, so you could just snipe your way out of every situation if you are good enough or lucky enough. Yeah. But good that you use the shield. So we know that they have a gunner, at least one gunner, and at least one caster, both with barriers. One has double barrier, one we only know has single barrier. Always got to be taking a mental note of what they've got. And we've gained a player in the match. Interesting. There's a guy on the top of the tower, but it looks like a friendly. You could have taken the shot there. I mean, I personally just go for them. Because there is a reason to wait for the perfect shot, but most of the time it's just worth it to go for it. Like that, nice shot. I'm noticing you're not strafing when sniping. We don't know for sure. It better not be a 2v, a 3v2 or whatever. But yeah, so we see, what's this, a 4v3? Okay, we don't know for sure if they have a way to snipe you at long range yet. So I would carry on strafing until you know what they've got. Then you can start taking the AFK shots. But the early game, it's just best to set up. Like that guy is suspiciously not moving and playing at long range, so you can assume he has long range weapons. Assault rifle is relatively long range, but luckily it can't punish you hard. He's taking you to his team here, so you just gotta commit or leave. Yeah, nice. Remember to attack using two-handed massa. So what's this again? Just attacking with two-handed massa Mune here. So you ditch the cloak. It's good that you get the hit here, but you could have done a bit more damage with two-handed massa, or maybe kill the chest. The movement was fine. Now, here's the issue with like not fully committing to something. You should be able to get out. Nice, very nice. They know where you are. You're gonna get bombed. We can see there's a bomber. Yeah. He's obviously knows where you were because he saw you before, right? And he's looking at you, which means he's gonna do something suspicious. I know it's white, so you can't see the bombs very easily until the last moment. But yeah, there's no reason to stay. We know what he had because he shot you with it already. Shot you with it back here. We know that he had explosives, so you should know that his long range option has travel time, so you could just leave. He'd have a harder time hitting you if you didn't move. Or if you did move, sorry. But it is what it is. Your team is preoccupied. You are playing completely by yourself, which in a situation where you have 4 teammates and they have 3, you might as well just team fight. Just have more people. Or you make your team fight and you just commit to sniping the entire time, and it's be a real problem, because if they commit one guy to you, then they're going to be outnumbered. Okay, so I'm noticing quite a lot of like just lack of conviction. You gotta just choose something to do and just go do that, you know? It seems like you're kind of just... Going with the flow isn't always a bad thing, but this is too much, I'm just kind of doing whatever for now. We'll see. Fair enough running away, but you want to lead him towards teammates or he just loses you when you have radar. Okay. You're also on low ground with Pelican. Generally you don't want to do that. It's a third person game, so when you're on the roof of something, you can just crouch here on the roof of something and look down, and they can't see you when they're up here. They can't see you. But this guy just has no line of sight. He's gonna look up there, but you can see him. You know? So yeah, you want to be using high ground as Pelican rather than low ground. There are worse snipers to use on low ground, but Pelican isn't the greatest. You don't need to flick your screen up every time you springboard, by the way. My shot, I would be getting onto this tower behind just to get like an even better vantage point. So we'll see what you do. Oh, that guy is your target. Yeah. There's no reason for you to stay, Rob. Nice, okay. Fair enough, just heal in the corner. Teammate's got a kill, so I would be aggressive here. Oi! Oi, I see ya. Yeah, so your teammates have a kill, so it's 2v4 right now. So this is an opportunity to go in with this sword. When you recognize that there's a numbers advantage, or you just hit the shot like the goat you are, I guess. Fair enough. Now it's a 3v1. One of them's respawning, one of them's still dead, so I would still be aggressive with the sword personally, and also they know where you are. That's a 2v3. Yeah, that's a 4v2 still right now, but at least you're committing to an option now, which is sniping. Good, utilizing a 3p. I'd want to get behind him personally. He is full, he's going to be reinforcing your team. You need to try and make something happen. Nice. That is one way to do that. But yeah, I'd move and get somewhere even more aggressive, because your team is fighting full health players. Or just hit the shots! Don't listen to me. Clearly, hardest working man just loves putting himself in pixel perfect locations. But yeah, I still think that the higher percentage play would be to move, because you had less LOS of that area, which you're doing now, so fair enough. I wouldn't consider this to be a particularly good angle. I'd still be getting closer here. Just because, again, they're fighting all the way on the side. You see? Okay, they're pulling into the middle now, but... yeah, when sniping, you want to see your opponents. You want to see more of the map, wherever your opponents are. So you will have to move around depending on where they are, to have the most impact possible. Okay, you want to be careful with your shots here. If they're paying attention, they will come after you every time you shoot. And you are a bomb target right now on the tower. There we go, you found the bomber. And you killed it. Nice. Okay, so you can now line up your shots while AFK. Okay, so you got to be careful. Yeah, okay, cool. I was gonna say you got to leave because the bomber knows where you are as well. So, or it should know if their team comms it. But I would probably move towards pink as well, just to try and support. And also your energy's starting to get low, which is the issue with Pelican. And then again, you can take off your cloak right now. You don't need it. A little bit of energy gains is always useful. There's a player in your quadrant of the radar. I would push him, personally. At this point, I'd be confident to say that this player doesn't have many close range options because they've been double explosive battle rifling. And I don't see a sword. So their close range option will be most likely Nova or Bounder because everyone brings a close range option. Or they just bring double blink. So they should be safe to run up on. But yeah, you can have a look at your opponents to make sure you know what they got. If they suspiciously don't have a secondary weapon, then it's either a caster cube or they don't have one. Unlucky. So your team's traded, and you know that the other one's not there, so you could join them for the 3v1. I do think... I guess you're just committing to sniping rather than assassin-y, which is kind of hybrid, but yeah, I'm just pointing out that your team was still fighting. Oh shoot. I will say, when you're running away from people, I would recommend generally charging a jump up preemptively when you're sprinting away from people, like charging a jump as you're running, and then if you need to cancel, you can just dash to cancel that run or that charge. Yeah, you're not gonna get another Pelican shot. Alright, cool. Ran out of energy. Means you've survived and you got some impact in, so that's all right. You're playing more snipery, so my key advice for being more snipery is to use your moments to take your cloak off to get more ammo. Because if you're on the other side of the map, then you don't need to you don't need your cloak up all the time. Rip, that's your only Pelican shot, so you might as well just go in with sword. You gonna... Maybe you're coming. I don't know. Yeah. When you do go with sword with no energy, I would play more trappy. Like, pretend you're a human trap and crouch behind stuff. There is a radar, but you should be able to... We'll see, you can still dash attack, so I would recommend that instead of jumping randomly. So you did just jump over him, but that's all good. Again, no need to flick your screen up, but when you're pushing this guy, just run out with your barrier. Just hold Shift and W with barrier, and then once he does it, I have this ready to go. Once he does it, then use the springboard, because you don't recharge these when you're out of energy, so you need to look after them. You need to use them to get that first hit in. Because again, as I said earlier, the win condition of a sword is to get that first hit, and then they can kind of... That is a teammate. Was it? No? That was a teammate. All good. Little things, you can dash down any slope just to go slightly faster than your opponents. I don't dislike that springboard. I probably wouldn't, but... I did dislike that springboard because you were going downwards anyway. You were going to hit the floor. Another thing to note when pushing people, if you can't do... I still haven't made a video on it, but if you can't spring dash, then it's usually faster to just sprint on the floor. Because, you know, it's faster than being airborne. Nice kill. Again, it's still fine if you die, you're out of energy. But it'd be nice to take more people out. No need to push him yet. You might as well wait for your team to, instead of going down needlessly. Oh, he doesn't notice you, maybe. Was that it? No, it just froze. So you didn't need to push him. Obviously, you found the opportunity, so, but you didn't need to push him too hard. You can still make stuff happen with 1 health and no energy. Your whole team's dying, so just find a cool spot and then see where it goes. Your team's playing very separated and 1 by 1 right now. I mean, look, Beak is here. I don't know if he's fighting. There's no comms, so I don't know. Rev definitely fighting. There was a red dot on the map next to him. So, yeah, you probably want to go to either fight with him or snipe. And he looks like he's running away right now, so I would look right, even though you have a shot here. I'd still look to my right because I can tell that Rev's just blinked away defensively. And the red dot's still approaching, so I would still look right. There we go. Cool. There's another one on the beach, and then we still know the bomber can look at you, so I would be careful on the tower. Just make sure you're hyper aware that what's going on. Bomber can still maybe shoot you here. See, I'd probably try and find out where that guy is as well. There we go. So it's a 2v4 again, and that is the time I would personally, again, push up. You could go for the annoying Overwatchy playstyle, but in that situation, I'd go to pink tower, because that's where they are, and just be really annoying. They only have the bomber to defend, and it's a 2v4, so yeah, that's personally what I would do. Also, at this range, Pelican becomes extremely difficult, so... But yeah, or even this double bridge area to try and just get better angle on them. See a bit more. Unfortunately, you couldn't take the aerial shot. Another player joins the game halfway through. Interesting. You see how the angle here, you just haven't got as many good shots to take. So I personally would move a bit more aggressively. Get more risk involved, but you can take more easier shots for sure. So your teammates run in here, and it's still a 2v4. I agree not doing anything, because they might just die, and they hit each other. So I can completely get behind choosing not to go in, but I'd still move up more aggressively than this. Yeah, so that's that thing about that bomber guy. When they get that kill, we don't know where he respawns. Probably should have said something about that. Yes, if you don't know where he respawns after he dies, you need to keep track of your main opponents that can shoot you at your range. Okay, tower sniping 101, let's do this. So we're on our tower, and we are sniping. This is you, or me, because I do it a lot. When you, or anyone dies, when someone dies, right, over here, they can... Assuming your tower isn't like really wedged in the corner of the map, the distance that they can spawn from you is usually about 100 meters. And on a map this size, it's gonna be something like 250 by 250, right? That's not very obvious, but 250 by 250 is generally the rough map size of a Gen 3. You can be a bit bigger, can be a bit smaller. But that's generally a kind of rough estimate. So you're here, they can spawn... Oh, sorry, you weren't there, you were here. They can spawn here, not here, because that's proximity. They can spawn in proximity of their teammates, but not you. So they're going to spawn pretty much anywhere from all the way down here. This is like kind of the whole zone of the map that they can spawn in. And they can probably even spawn here, to be honest. And as well as in the middle of the map. So they've got a lot of map where they can just appear from nowhere. Kind of this whole like... This is kind of the... It's kind of... They won't spawn in your line of sight generally. But that's kind of the area of the map where they can spawn. So... Yeah. When tower sniping, you should probably... After every kill, I like to try and count to 10. So I just like take a note of the time. Let's go back, because that makes sense. Let's go back. Back to when he died. So the nice thing about tower sniping is you can see when they spawn. Am I dumb and this whole rant was for nothing? When did he die? He didn't die. He just didn't die. I'm gonna carry on with this anyway. I got the wrong person, but so we just lost him. But remember when Fozzo dies here? Oh god, I'm terrible at this. Right, so Fozzo Bear dies here. Let's pretend he has a sniper. You count from this time. You just give it 10-15 seconds. So in this case, you see 5:53. You'll be like, okay, 5:40. I should like jump, like charge the jump, spin around the map, and try and find him on his spawn, and then you can comm that to your team. Don't shoot him, but yeah, you can comm that to your team. Or if you don't see him, you can be like, okay, well, I can see all of. We know you can see all of this because there's nothing taller than a tower generally. So you know you can see all of this. Or maybe you won't be able to see here, but you'll be able to see all of that beach. You can see most of this, and you'll be able to see here. You'll be able to see all of that, all of this, most of this. So really, if you don't see him, he spawns here generally. So yeah, but again, we just lost track of Bread. Bread the snipey McSniper. That's your biggest threat at long range. And also ambushes, but... Now there's 4 people on the enemy team. We know where 2 of them are. One of them died, and the other one's an unknown. And that's the guy that you need to keep attention to. There we go. We still don't know where he is because he's using explosives, so I wouldn't just crouch in the open. I'd do a quick scan. Maybe he's there, maybe he's not. So your team took down another player in the corner in the close range fight, and now it's a 3v1. One of them will be backing them up from pink, and the other one, you know where they are. You're fighting them right now. So you have 2 options. Either you stop this from happening by continuing doing what you're doing, which is the less impactful option on your team, or you just put a barrier up in front of your face, pray that you don't get bombed, well not pray, but you know, dodge the bombs, and then just run in. You'll get commed, but now it's a 4v2. So I feel like you can be more aggressive, because your team is in a good solid 3v1 right now. You're getting supported a second, so it'll be a 3v2, but your team might be hurt, so maybe you don't go in. And one of them's running away, so maybe they're hurt. But even if you're ahead, you can still push your advantage even further if you have a numbers advantage. So they didn't go into support, and now it's a 3v1 in front of you. Turn around and run away. Please. Please. Okay, good. I would personally take maybe the tower, or since you're sniping a lot this game, I'd go to pink tower. I'd get a different spot. And maybe even help kill the person on high people on the way. Because this guy should get 2v1'd in a second, so we'll see how that goes. get 2v1'd. Okay, I do forget you don't have comms. Right, you have to just have more awareness than your opponents to know when to get the 2v1s in, but... Especially if you can't just talk to them, but, yeah. H on the minimap was super close to you, and unless they're super hurt, if they don't seem to be, because I can see their sword and their legs still, then you could have 2v1'd Cookie there. There's not going to be much left in this match, so I'm going to go back. So right here, when you know that there's 3 in front of you, there's 3 here, there are 3. We know that there are 3, we saw 3. There's 1 here. And it's between teammate 1 and teammate 2. The highest percentage play is to just ditch everything, like down here, and just try and kill this guy in, try and kill this guy in like 3 seconds. You could do it, you have Masamune and Pelican. So instead of trying to fend off a threat, which Rev or R on the map seems to be doing already. You see how R is already, R is here. He's probably chipping down these guys and gonna get rushed. You can't save him, it's a 3v1. So the best thing to do is to save these 2 and go take that 3v1. So you just turned it into 2 3v1s. Because, yeah, your guy is cooked based off of what I can see here. He probably has blink, so he's less cooked. But, this guy's already aiming at him. So for whatever reason, H is underneath, so maybe he's healing. But I wouldn't even bother taking this Pelican shot, because he has double barriers, right? So he's just not going to die. And then I would try and take a Massa push here. Just be aggressive, because again, you have 3 teammates nearby, but one of them's far, and then the other one seems to have been healing, maybe. Maybe that's why they didn't push, but yeah. Now it's a 2v2, I would have... Yeah, well, we know what happens next. You try and take the guy from behind, but unfortunately, he turned around at the right time. Kind of feeling a team wipe here. We'll see though. Oh, I'm expecting a team wipe here. Surprisingly not. Teammate's gonna still be fighting at close range. Since you are ahead, I would minimize deaths here. So yeah, playing for snipes is a good idea. The teammate just died to a hunter. 9 times out of 10, when they die to a hunter, it's a 2 split. That means this enemy could be any of these locations. And statistically, they're not statistically, they're just not going to be in any of this part of the map because no one's playing in it right now. The only person who would be is the bomber. So therefore, they are either here, here, here. So yeah, we'll see what you do with that. But just know that that's immediately, I could tell that's where they're going to be. There's also a person in the map, and you're getting bombed. There's a person in the center of the map from the mini-map, you can see. So I feel like you might get ambushed in this situation, unless they go back. Just a bit of extra awareness. That's how I get my awareness. Yeah, we knew you were getting bombed, but it was kind of hard to catch. I'm not too well known, not everyone knows this, but explosives, it's from where the explosive hit you, so from the source of the damage, not, so if the explosion is here, but the enemy shot it from, let's say, here, and then the explosion just landed there, and then you took damage from this direction, your damage indicator will point that way. not towards the opponent. So if you're looking for your Phantom Mystery opponent, because they hit their thing actually hit this spot here, they probably shot it from there somewhere. Yeah, and there's that ambush. We knew that person was on the map because of the highest chance was a 2-split hunter. Yeah, so as I said earlier, the highest chance of your teammate dying, if they're not going to com, they're not going to com. But the highest chance place was kind of near you, so that was going to happen. Okay, it was decent. Mostly awareness. A few mechanics, but I don't really want to talk about mechanics. Like, I want to talk about awareness and playmaking, usually. Because that's the easiest way to improve.